Ready for a new ride? Let Canyon View Credit Union get you road tripping this summer. Finance your next vehicle with Canyon View Credit Union, and you will enjoy no payments for 90 days, even if you buy something used. Visit canyonviewcu.com to get pre-approved so you know exactly what you can afford, you'll have confidence at the dealership, and you won't have to guess at your payment amounts. Apply today at canyonviewcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply. Today on CityCast Salt Lake, CNBC gave our beloved state an F for quality of life. We dig into it. Plus, what you need to know about Trump shrinking the size of 2 Utah monuments. And we round up the best places to eat wings while watching that World Cup final this Sunday. I am Ali Vallarta. I'm here with executive producer Emily Means and CityCast Salt Lake contributor Jack Stauss. Hey, gang.
Howdy.
Hello.
Okay, before we get into the news of the week, we have to ask a favor of you, our listener, which is that we're doing our annual listener survey. This is huge for us. I'm going to be so transparent. A couple of things come from this annual survey. One, we get more information about you so that we can make a show that really suits your needs and your desires and your whims. The other thing is that we learn more about our audience so that we can find good partners in the community, whether that's like advertisers, promotional partners, places that we can like run giveaways with. Like we just want to be sure that we're making the best show for you because you're the best audience. So if you go to citycast.fm/survey, you can take it. It's only going to take 7 minutes, we know, because we timed it. citycast.fm/survey. And here's the deal. We need 300 people to take it. So I'm not going to stop asking you to do it until we hit that goal, which means we might as well knock it out right now.
Let's do it.
citycast.fm/survey. You will be entered to win a $250 Visa gift card and some CityCast swag taking the survey. So really worth it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Do it.
We know you can do it.
We know, we all love to sort of share our thoughts and opinions and feelings.
I love a survey.
I love, especially when it's multiple choice. I'll do anything that's multiple choice.
Especially when I can win something at the end. I never do, but I'm always enticed.
And you'll have some vested interest in the future of the podcast.
Totally.
You can help us.
Yeah.
Help us help you.
Help us help you. Okay.
Perfect.
On the note of winning things, in a report from CNBC about states with the best quality of life, we lost. We came in dead last. We got an F, Utah.
Brutal.
We were named one of the top 10 worst states to live in.
F us,
Jack
I guess.
and Emily, how did this make you feel?
I was surprised because usually you see these surveys of best places for people to live, like
Yeah.
best outdoorsy, and Utah's always on those. So it was kind of a flip flop. But when you read into the fine print, it does make sense. It's got all the stuff that we all complain about a lot.
Like
Air
what?
quality, number one, air quality, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I thought this write-up from CNBC was pretty brutal, actually. It's kind of short. Can I just read it? Is that okay? Is that weird?
Yeah, go for
I
it.
don't know. Okay. For all its natural beauty, Utah is not the healthiest place to live, ranking number 47 for primary care providers. Air quality leaves something to be desired with high ozone levels. The Beehive State gets its nickname from the industriousness of its workers, but the state doesn't do much to make their lives easier. The state minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, and Utah has just 513 licensed child care centers in a state with 3.5 million people. Bad all around.
Brutal.
Yeah. Well, the childcare note, too, if they wanted to add another zinger here, they could mention that we are also one of, if not the youngest states in the union because we have so many children. So it's like for us to be ranking so low for childcare centers and to be a state with so many damn kids is also embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
Very ironic.
I mean, I do think it's funny, Jack, you noted that, we're often on these lists that are like, yeah, Utah's the best. And I just always think it's funny to see this kind of ranking next to the ones that our state leaders love to tout, especially, they're always talking about economic outlook. What does ALEC stand for? American Legislative Exchange Council, conservative think tank policy group. For 20 years almost, they've ranked us number one in economic outlook. And I think this is funny too, because this CNBC ranking is actually part of their top states for business study. Wow. So this is an economic ranking as well.
Yep. Yeah, CNBC is like a business site. And the other thing that's so interesting is that, so we should actually also share the score because the score is devastating. 95 out of 290 points, right? I've seen grades like that before, and I think listeners
not
can
even close to half. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been there.
But part of the reason that they have started factoring quality of life into their business index is because we're seeing more companies mandate a return to the office. We're seeing like people start to make decisions about where they're going to site a company as we like move away from remote work. I don't know what percentage of people are still working remotely. I think it's still pretty high, but we're definitely seeing a post-pandemic shift. Yeah. And so like, okay, if you're going to have your, you know, whatever, Adobe headquarters somewhere, then it's probably, you're going to want that to be somewhere where young people want to live in particular, like where your new workforce is going to want to live. And when it comes to young people, another thing that they cite specifically that they used as a metric for all of these state rankings is reproductive access and abortion bans. And because of Utah's restrictive abortion laws, they said half of all young people, almost half of all young people right now, say they don't want to live in a state with an abortion ban.
Wow.
Well.
I mean, it all kind of fits the paradigm of people, you know, and think about Utah. There's all these kind of values that don't align with a lot of young folks. And especially like in recent years, we've seen more, it's not just the January inversion anymore. There's more air quality issues. And it's been a lot more like kind of front and center in press nationwide and all these different issues. So I wasn't super surprised to see the ranking, knowing all that stuff, all the political, social issues, and then the environmental concerns over the years kind of progressing, getting worse. And I mean, that $725 wage as well. It's like, you know, maybe back in 10 years ago when the average, you know, rental you could find in Sugar House was $500 a month, made sense. I mean, then that's not enough money, but
no one remembers that time. But I think notably missing from this report, and I actually wonder how it factored in, access to nature. That's something that we hear about all the time, is obviously like a huge quality of life factor for us here. Also something that, you know, brings a lot of people to the state when they're considering relocating, getting a new job. So it kind of seems like our proximity to beautiful landscapes really doesn't outweigh these other factors here, at least in this study. I also feel like they should have mentioned the lake. Like, just obvious, right? Like if we're talking about air quality, we're not just talking about ozone, we're talking about toxic dust. And we've just had some recent toxic dust storms roll into the valley, in the past couple of weeks when we've had some windy days. So yeah, if I were doing this study, those were two factors that I would have brought into play.
Well, notably, the picture that they chose for our state does mention the lake. And the caption is also brutal. It says, "The smokestack chimney from the Kennecott Copper Smelter near the Great Salt Lake is seen in the morning haze from California wildfires as winds blow in the direction of Salt Lake City."
It's all happening.
Nice overlapping issues there.
Hey, you know what, though? They make for great sunsets.
They really do. They really do. Yeah,
I mean, this factor in?
This also nosedives into Utah consistently ranking the worst state for women, and like another place where minimum wage comes up time and time again. And we've asked legislators on this show, like, why not just vote to raise the minimum wage? And they always say, well, the market takes care of that. I did want to ask you, Jack, did you click through to the list of the top 10 best states?
Vermont.
6 years in a row, your home state of Vermont, number one.
Well, that's the thing. I usually see Utah and Vermont on some of these like access to wild space. And there's oftentimes they're on similar lists. And so I was a little saddened to see Utah, but not surprised, and always excited to see Vermont on there because it is. But we have, these days, climate change is impacting the East Coast as well. And they're dealing with wildfires and drought and flooding in Vermont every year too. So
yeah.
Well,
it's all a challenge.
Jack, being from the number one state, what kind of wisdom can you impart upon us so that we can get off this bottom 10 list?
Yeah. And why would you move from A+ to F?
Yeah. And how are you feeling about that
decision? Are you a low achiever, Jack?
Man. Where do we start on all this? I have so much love for both places. I mean, I think like it's, we need good policies that help alleviate the pressures that we see making these impacts worse, So I think Vermont's done a really good job of having more bipartisan politics over the years. And I think Utah could learn a little bit from that.
Yeah, that is such an interesting point, because something you don't often see in states is a governor from one political party and a legislature dominated by another. And yet, that has been the case in Vermont for a while. The state legislature is dominated by Democrats. They have a well-loved Republican governor, and they do often come together and like work together. And that is something I think a lot of people would be surprised to learn about Vermont, because they hear Vermont and picture like liberal bastion, hippies who avoided the draft. Like everyone's running around naked, just like smoking a joint, eating ice cream. And that's are partially true.
There's a lot of that. There's a lot of really blue collar parts of Vermont as well. And it's honestly lots of being in Utah. I mean, the problem here, or the difference, I guess, here is it's so much bigger. We have such a, the city itself and the Salt Lake Valley, and then the state itself is bigger. So you get similar back and forth between progressives and conservatives, or liberals and conservatives, you do in Vermont, but like it's a lot more stretched out here, and there's a lot less like people being able to talk to each other on community level. Yeah.
So you're saying if we didn't sprawl so much in Utah, we'd be able to agree on more things? Is that what you're saying, Jack?
Perhaps. I don't know. It's tricky, but I think there are lessons that we can learn from each different place that we've all come from, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about appeasing the base and Bears ears. It is officially too hot to spend all day outside. Perfect weather for taking up a new hobby. Salt Lake Society makes sewing fun and accessible. With a variety of fabrics, notions, patterns, they have everything you need for your next project in a gorgeous new warehouse space in Salt Lake City's Granary District. One of my favorite things about a new hobby is opening up my world to all these new people. Plug into a community of makers by taking a beginner class or joining Society on their Summertime Makers backpacking trip. So fun! The Society backpacking trips are July 31st through August 2nd or August 28th through 30th and are totally free to join. Learn something new and make new friends at Salt Lake Society. You can find out more about their social events and classes at saltlakesociety.com or stop by their brick and mortar on 300 West to shop fabrics and patterns. All right, executive producer Emily Means, CityCast Salt Lake contributor and executive director of Save Our Canyons, Jack Stauss. Let's talk a little bit about what happened when Trump took pen to paper earlier this week.
Sure did.
And shrunk two of Utah's national monuments again. So in case you missed it, he did this during his first term. And what's really interesting to me is the first time he did this, he shrunk one of them by like 50% and the other one by like 80 or 85%. Then the Biden administration, which I think really notable piece of all of this, had a Secretary of the Interior who was Indigenous, Deb Haaland, restored these two monuments, Grand Staircase, Escalante, and Bears Ears. And in fact, when they restored the boundaries of Bears Ears, they made it 12,000 acres bigger. And then now this week, the Trump administration has gone back and cut both of these monuments by 90%, which is now officially the largest reduction of national monuments ever in U.S. history.
Yeah.
And our boys, Senator Curtis, Senator Lee, and Governor Cox were stood behind him when he did this, beaming. They're thrilled.
Yeah.
And all of our Congress reps as well.
Yeah.
Congressional
Okay,
reps.
wait, I'm sorry. Can we talk about that photo real quick? Jack, did you see this photo of Spencer Cox? He looks like a gun is being held to his head. Like he... his statement is, we're thrilled that this happened. President Trump did the right thing. But... God, he didn't look happy to be there at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I would say, I bet Blake Moore and Curtis, they've gone, they've tried to work with conservation people. I don't know if groups is the right word, but some of the conservation folks over the years. And to be standing there in that room when there's so much going on the federal side, and then to see this reduction come back again. I mean, we all kind of knew it was possible. But it's just so sad. It's such a tragic day for public lands in Utah, in the American West. It's rug pulling indigenous leadership that's been, worked on in a consensus-based way for almost 2 decades. It's really sad. I think the only thing that gives me hope is that a lot of good people are going to fight this and keep working on it. And we're going to come back to a place in the hopefully near future where Congress is different, the president's different. We'll have another management plan, hopefully, that reinstates some of this. But
yeah,
right now it feels pretty hard.
The rug pulling piece, I think, is so important here, Jack, because often when we talk about public land, often when we talk about the battle over management of these resources, these are huge swaths of land, right? Like we're talking 3 million combined acres.
Yeah.
It is about natural resources. And I think there is a small case to be made here as well. We know that Bears Ears, which if you're unfamiliar, so Grand Staircase Escalante is sort of in south central Utah. This is near Boulder, Utah. Mm-hmm. Bears Ears is in the south of Moab. I know a lot of us think Moab is the furthest southeast corner of our state. It's not. You keep going for a long while after that down to Bluff and Monument Valley.
It's nice down there.
Big state. It's gorgeous down there. And when we think about Grand Staircase Escalante, there is coal there. But I personally don't really foresee a future where they're mining coal in Escalante. It's just not really functional. So what is this about? Who is that for, right? Shrinking that monument. And it's really about grazing cows and being able to ride your ATV.
Yeah,
you can already hunt and fish on that land, right?
No,
yeah.
Which I mean, Trump said you couldn't, right?
Man.
I mean, he's a blatant liar at every turn. But, I think it is important to fact check the president on this type of thing. There is access to these spaces.
Yes. And I think that also gets back at the idea that all these men look like they're standing there with a gun held to their head. But actually, if anybody's got the gun held to their head, I think it's the president, because it's very clear that they advocated for this and they handed him a pen and said, sign this.
He has no idea.
Because he's sitting there saying, you can't even barely walk on these lands. And it's that's not true. Does he even know what he's doing? Could he even find them on a map? This is something the state has pushed for. And so I don't want to let Cox and Curtis and Lee get away with seeming like they were trapped into this situation.
Yeah.
Totally.
They asked for this.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's totally a partisan.
So why are they so unhappy looking? I guess is I don't understand.
I mean, I think they have constituents that are really happy about this. And in a lot of ways, it's political, I don't know, call it theater, but it's basically a partisan handout, right? It's you're right. Mm-hmm. There's kind of meager resources available in both these monuments. It's more about showing the liberals and the environmental groups that they don't have the power right now, in my opinion. And it will, taking away these resources will have landscape and boots in the ground negative impacts. If it's not mining and ranching, it's going to be more ambiguity on people riding their ATVs and just going out and doing whatever they want in places that need really widespread good management. And I think monument status gave it that. And without it, we'll be back in a state of ambiguity and degradation ultimately.
Yeah,
totally.
But yeah, I think they did it just because it's what people in rural Utah think they want. I think they need.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they want, but among the three of them, they want to either be the president or the governor. Is my suspicion, right? It's political theater. I think you're so right, Jack. And we shouldn't count out the fact that Bears Ears is rich in uranium. And this is a state that's really excited about nuclear. And there is a world, within 60 days, we could see contracts for mining.
It is in the new proclamation. It is, there are the opening for that to happen, and it's possible. And even if it's small operations, what's happening, the reason these monuments are so big, especially Bears Ears, is because it just it's not about protecting one single site. The entire landscape is sacred. So even if you just do one little uranium mine, who knows what you're disturbing? Who knows what part of the land there that you're creating lasting damage to, and not just ecologically, but culturally as well.
I was going to say, that's a really good point, because how state leaders framed this in their statement was essentially the Antiquities Act, which is the law that allows a president to designate a national monument. They're saying that it needs to be the smallest area compatible with the management and care of those, specific culturally significant, scientifically significant objects that they're protecting. Their argument is Grand Staircase and Escalante, way too big. And And part of that is they're saying it's so big that it's too difficult to manage and protect. So I'm curious about that and if there is merit to that. They did this little compare contrast with these two monuments versus versus Utah's national parks. And they said, and I haven't totally fact checked this, but they're claiming that the two monuments together, their expanse was larger than all of those national parks in our state combined. And so I was wondering if there was some merit to that, like this land is just too large to manage and to truly protect these antiquities, these significant pieces here. I'm wondering what either of you think about that. And Ali, you've done a lot of work in that area of the state. So yeah, tell me, educate me.
I mean, it's sort of laughable because right now, the land is being co-managed by the federal government and the tribes. Mm-hmm. And so the fact that the tribes weren't even given a heads up that this decision was going to happen, which is what we're told from some tribal leaders, like indicates that a lot of this is about sort of, I think, a dismay that the land is being co-managed by the tribes. And we know that like indigenous people managed much larger swaths of land since time immemorial and did it well. So I don't know that the idea that it's like too big to manage to me is a little bit of a nothing burger. And I don't think you can compare it to the national parks because national parks have entry, they have gates, they have visitor centers, they have cars rolling through there, like their destinations. Like monuments are different, right?
Totally.
Like they might have some fencing, but they're not staffed.
There's visitor centers and there's some hardened places where people will go, especially near the main roads. And then there's a lot of space that's open and kind of hard to access. And that's also the point. Like all these wild spaces don't need to have roads and visitor centers and easy access. Like they should be challenging by the nature of the rugged landscape down there. And all across America, there's wild spaces that I think are innately should be challenging for us to access and don't need roads and shouldn't be treated like the parks. I think, to echo Ali, I think it is like kind of a nothing burger. It's just it's like comparing apples to oranges. And I mean, you can put a good management plan in place for any landscape size. If you take some time, work with local communities, work with state and federal governments, work with the tribes and give things the resources, the restoration, the TLC and the money that it needs, you can create a management plan for it.
Yeah.
I was so interested to see that line in the statement too, because I think the timing of this is really uncomfortable. Right now, the largest wildfire in this nation is burning within the boundaries of Bears Ears, the Babylon fire. And so it's a bad look to be removing protections for that land. And for land that is sacred, that like, to be clear, when Barack Obama made history declaring Bears Ears a national monument, it was because the tribes came together and asked him to do it. And so it was like the first time that it had happened at the urging of the tribes. It was a really big deal. And so like the indigeneity of that decision like cannot be, I think, separated from the decision itself. And so now the largest wildfire in the nation is burning within those boundaries, desecrating this sacred site, like in some regard, right? And so to make this decision while that's happening, I feel like they need to point to it being a management issue. Otherwise, it just looks so bad. Yeah. But I think it looks bad because, in my opinion, it is. Yeah. It's really political theater and it's at the expense of the tribes. And I think that's in poor taste, among other things.
Yeah.
And same with Grand Staircase, right? Like it was designated in 96 and for, like 20 years over the course of that time, they created a management plan that worked really well. It worked with the ranchers, it worked with the local town, it worked with outfitters and tourists, and it worked with the landscape. It protected huge amount of cultural, scientific and recreation resources. And it's like, we did it. We know we like have proof of concept, like ask anyone that lives or works down there. And same with Bears Ears. It's like, we were just going to, do that again. And I think in a much more, kind of like cohesive way with the tribes. And yeah, absolutely right. With the fire burning now, like pulling resources away from that makes absolutely no sense to me.
I have to imagine for communities on the ground, this is just extremely frustrating that this back and forth and shrinking and growing and all of this. So, just thinking about the on the ground impact for recreation, for, people who live in the area, just annoying, honestly.
Totally.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is about sticking it to the libs. And I will say, like, whenever Grand Staircase comes up, one of my favorite ever pieces of Utah lore is never forget that in 1996, when Bill Clinton designated Grand Staircase a monument, he did it from the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, that was,
and people
that was
were
bad
like,
luck.
That was a bad look,
Bill,
That wasn't smart.
it's not there.
The libs owned themselves in that case. Okay?
Exactly. One quick thing just to note before we move on. So this is absolutely going to become a courtroom battle, and has before. And the reason for that is that the act that gives presidents the power to designate monuments is called the Antiquities Act. And the Antiquities Act doesn't specify whether presidents have the power to rescind monuments. And so the battle in the courtroom, which will be spearheaded by the Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance, probably I would say, not to like hype them up, but like for a long time when it comes to the battle for Utah's Red Rock Country, an organization in this state that has often kept Utah state leaders with their tails between their legs. Like, nobody's better at suing than SUA. And so they're already preparing this lawsuit, and it'll be a courtroom battle for sure.
And that's like my takeaway from a lot of this stuff, especially having done it already with Trump won, and just over all of these issues we fight in the West. It's like, really good people at powerful organizations are doing hard work behind the scenes. And instead of, they take time to kind of mourn the loss of these landscapes, but in the wise words of Joe Hill, don't just mourn, organize.
Damn. You know what? That's a great place to land. Except that I also want to mention that legislatively, this isn't over yet either, because Representative Celeste Malloy has sponsored a bill to basically strip the president's powers from the Antiquities Act, the president's ability to create national monuments. So here we go.
All right, let's spend a little bit of time talking about food. We've got a food segment for you, and we have a sponsor for it, our friends at Central 9th Market. Shout out to them for making probably the best breakfast sandwich in town. But something new that they're up to is a farmer's market. So every other Thursday from now through October, you can shop the Central 9th Market Farmers Market. They're going to have prepared food from rotating chefs at their corner store and pastries from our girl, Lady Flower. And then all this produce provided by local farms.
So cool.
This is something they do well. I one time used them for catering, and I was emailing with them, and they were like, yeah, we can do breakfast sandwiches. And then they were like, and we've also got some great local apples right now. So we'll throw in an apple with everyone's breakfast sandwich. And I was like, that's so you. That's such a you guys thing to do. Their website is central9th.com with the number 9. But you probably know them. They're in the Central 9th neighborhood, right on the corner there. So swing by tonight and every other Thursday through October.
Love it.
Great folks down there.
Yes. Okay, you two. The World Cup final is this weekend. This is my Super Bowl. And I only have to do it once every 4 years. Just kidding. My Super Bowl is the Kentucky Derby. Let me stop.
Come on.
Let me stop myself right now. But I thought it would be fun if we put together some good wing joints where you can sports watch. Because what I want to be doing this Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m. is feasting on wings and watching this game. Emily, kick us off. Where are you finding good wings?
I got a couple options for you. One specializes in wings, and that's Scoville's in Sugar House. This is a sports bar. They've got TVs all over the place. I am almost certain they'll be showing the World Cup final. But one thing I like about them is that you have options. So many options. You can do bone-in. You can do boneless. You can do veggie. You can do vegan. And you can mix and match sauces and toppings. So you can really have your unique creation to enjoy. I personally love buffalo sauce. I love the vinegariness. I love when it like stings my nostrils. So I would go like buffalo sauce plus maybe like garlic plus parm kind of vibes. But I think they're really good. I'll also, if I can just throw in, I think Slackwater Pizza has excellent wings.
Yes.
If you've never gotten them, you gotta get them. I think that what I am really looking for in a wing is something that's not soggy. I want it to be a little bit crispy. I really hate when it's like soggy skin on a chicken wing. That's
Definitely.
the worst possible thing.
Soggy skin is
Sometimes it
fucked up. Why would you say
happens.
that,
No,
Emily?
definitely.
I'm sorry. Like, right? This is
It's
a thing.
too saturated.
Oh, I hate it so much. But both Scoville's and Slackwater do not have soggy skin chicken wings, and they and Slackwater has great sauce too, and they make their own ranch. So I love dipping those wings in the ranch.
Yum.
Yeah.
Those are my picks.
What about you, Jack? Are you going to watch this game? Are you into soccer?
Yeah, I'm like, I've watched a fair amount of games or parts of games. I've watched the last few, actually at Neighbors, which I know we're going to talk about, but I do love their wings. Yeah, I've been going back and forth between World Cup and Tour de France.
Oh, sure.
Yeah?
They don't really overlap that much.
Is that a
but
good wing watching? No, wing
That's like
eating
breakfast.
sport watching.
Yeah.
It's too
That's
long
like
and too
I
early.
love Wimbledon. Tennis is my Wimbledon's my actual Super Bowl. I've
That
won
also
Super
just
Bowls.
ended, right?
Yeah, how many
Yeah.
Super? You get one Super Bowl, Allie.
I know. Sorry.
Which is it? Is it the release of Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey or what?
That ends up being a breakfast sport too. Wimbledon every year.
I'm going to see The Odyssey, but before that, we watched Oh Brother Where Art That last week. So you
I
can preface
friggin' love
with
that
the
movie.
best adaptation, in my opinion.
Yeah. Mitt Romney's favorite too. Wait, so Jack, I'm sorry. Are you recommending Neighbors wings?
Well, I know it's on
You
Allie's
can.
list. Okay,
It's
cool.
on my list.
Am I
I
allowed
was
to?
just trying to like not fail the Allie don't mention the pearl just this once challenge. But here we go.
Well, I love the pearl wings most out of all in the city because they're
Same.
delicious. But I also don't know if you can watch the game in there.
No TVs. You're
No,
gonna have
no,
to
no.
prop your phone
Too
up.
classy.
You got to bring an
Yeah.
iPad.
You're an
Well,
iPad
in that
kid.
case, yeah, the game wing combo at Neighbors, and it was great. And their buffalo wings are some of my favorite in town right now. But I also
Nice.
like going to Fiddler's because it is a sports bar and there's lots of TVs everywhere. And back maybe a year or two ago, my kind of closest group of Salt Lake buddies and I went to Fiddler's and we realized they actually changed ownership since then, or they've
Yes.
redone all their stuff. But
Yeah.
back then you could get like, I think it was 3 different sizes of wings. You could do like 5, 10, or 15, and they had like 15 or maybe like 6 different sauces. So we did what we call the wing ladder, where we ate all the sizes and all the sauces up and down. And then it was like 150
You
wings or
did
something.
like a drop set of wings
Yeah,
or
exactly.
something. Yeah.
So we go out like every, I don't know, 6 months and try to find a new wing spot. So we did that at Scoville's recently too.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to do at Neighbors because there's only 2 types of wing there. But these days,
I think
yeah.
there's 3 now. They have a dry rub.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
The dry rub, and that's my favorite kind of wing. I
Yeah.
like a dry rub. I don't really like when they're too saucy.
Well, I do
and
love sauce,
it's
just
so
not sog.
good. And yeah, Neighbors is a fun place to watch the game because they've got TVs up in the corner. I watched the Knicks games there and had a blast. And you can have like a fabulous cocktail, which sometimes when you go to these sports bars,
Oh yeah.
to
Yeah.
watch games, you're like, well, it's a Pacifica with lime for me. And it is nice that you can have like a decent martini while doing it.
I had a really good Negroni the other night with
Oh,
in buffalo
wow.
wings and
You're
watching
living
soccer.
large,
It was
buddy.
awesome. I know it was a pivot for me, but it was really yummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are doing, you mentioned Fiddler's and Sugar House, which, yeah, was Fiddler's and then was the Locker Room, which was a queer sports bar, and then closed and is now Fiddler's again.
Right.
They're doing a full like brunch for the final on Sunday, which is at 1 p.m., the World Cup final. And they're doing $5 Bloody Marys and $5 mimosas all day.
Whoa. I don't even know that. I'm glad I added it just now because
Whoa.
that's really awesome to hear about.
Uh-huh.
That's gonna be lit.
That is.
Allie, do you have any other wing recs?
Well, the other place that I would say is Handlebar because I've been having a lot of fun over at Taverna lately, and I've also been watching games
Marmalade.
there. And when I end up in that Marmalade neighborhood, I'm always like, I got to come over here more. I can kind of technically walk. Like I go, I like a little ant.
It's a
I like
long
go
walk.
up Capitol Hill from the lower avenues and then go down into Marmalade. And I think Handlebar is underrated. Like tons of TVs. They've got indoor and outdoor space. The wings are great. You can bring a ton of people. You know, if you're with 8 people and you all want to watch the game, no problem. You're going to be able to get a table, no problem. So I think that's a spot that I often forget about. And I don't know why. I think it's just kind of out of sight, out of mind. I don't drive past it every day.
Sounds great.
I don't know if I've ever been to Handlebar. I don't usually hop over to Marmalade because I like something walkable, and it would take me a long time to walk there. So I'm glad that you're able to do that.
I actually know why I never go. Can I just say it?
Yeah.
I don't like things that are mustache themed.
I
don't-
It's
I-
very like 2010.
As a millennial, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want things that have avocados on them. I don't want things that have
Yeah.
unicorns on them. And I don't want things that are mustache themed. I'm
No-
like
no
ready to
PBR.
leave the Obama
Yeah.
presidency behind.
and she's
so
not
I
wearing
just-
galaxy leggings. No.
I think there's this part of me that's like, oh, the mustache thing. But then whenever I'm there, shout out to them, I have a wonderful time. The food is great. The service is
Yeah.
wonderful. The vibes are awesome.
Yeah. Hater.
It's me. I'm the problem.
I would love to check it out. When I've gone to Taverna, I've been like, I should do both of these things because I actually haven't also been to Handlebar yet. And I think it looks like a really great space to hang out.
You have a mustache.
I know.
So-
In my mustache's defense, I couldn't
It's a
grow
great
one
fit.
until the last couple of years. So
Well, Handlebar's been waiting for you.
as a millennial as well, I do hear you though.
Jack, your mustache does not offend me. It would only offend me if it was like, you know, animated on bed sheets.
Yeah. If you,
I don't
if
want
you
it on
have
a tote.
Party shirts with your mustache all over it.
What if I
yeah.
wax it at the next CityCast party?
Yeah. A proper handlebar.
Offensive.
Huh?
I think that would make
Dastardly.
me sad. I think that would make me sad. Okay, you two, we're losing it. Let's get out of
Yeah.
here. Executive producer Emily Means, Save Our Canyon's executive director, proud mustache owner, and CityCast Salt Lake contributor Jack Stauss. Good to spend time with you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, you too. Bye-bye.
That is all for us today here on CityCast Salt Lake. We will be back tomorrow morning with more from around town. Take care.